So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thanks God. The competitive playing level field has changed in the last 30 years, so Fiat is not anymore a real competitor in the premium life, but the Quattro stays alive. And I can tell you we sold 1.3 million cars last year, and 41% of mixed structure is Quattro. So the all-wheel drive is in our mind and in our heart. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think it is no secret when I tell you that megatrends like the urbanization and the shift from analog to digital technologies are remaking our world. And it is one of these huge changes that has brought you here today to the DLD conference. But the digital revolution isn't just driving the rapid transformation of our society, it is also transforming our cities and, of course, our mobility. And that's why I am here today. Does anyone remember Knight Rider? The 1980s TV series with a talking car named Kit? Well, then you probably remember that Kit not only talked, but could also think and warn its driver of impending danger. Kit could even drive itself when necessary. Back then, that all seemed quite futuristic. And now, not even 30 years later, we live in a very different world. This car of the future is now, I would say, already reality. So what happened? Nowadays, our customers spend their life constantly immersed in the digital cloud. They are always on. And no one expects to be disconnected from the digital world as soon as they slip behind the steering wheel. For us at Audi, being a connected driver means more than just being able to check emails or see if someone posted on our Facebook wall. We have gone one step further in the seamless networking of the automobile with its surroundings. That's the reason why Audi began attending the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, one of the world's biggest consumer electronic trade fairs, in a pioneering role, and has now become a fixture at that event. In the past, key players in the electronics industry have chosen the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas as the setting for world premieres of such products as the VCR, the CT player, so you may be wondering what Audi is doing at center stage at this event. It's because nowadays, some of the most exciting electronic innovations are not for home or office use, but rather for cars. Trade fairs like the CES are extremely important to us, since we believe that getting first-hand exposure to all of the new ideas and trends in the electronics branch opens our minds to the possibilities. And around 35 years ago, car makers started integrating electronic systems into the automobiles. Since then, we've seen enormous progress with the electrical and electronic systems enhancing our cars with a whole new level of intelligence. At Audi, we want to create individual mobility that's efficient, safe, and comfortable. And connectivity plays a central role in this. It is our goal to seek out the very best of cutting-edge technologies and integrate them into our cars. Designing our cars to the most exacting technological standards and equipping them with the most innovative technology available will allow us to meet both the most urgent challenges of our times and the need of our customers. Audi Connect is what we call the intelligent network that connects the automobile, the driver, the internet, the infrastructure, and others, cars on the road. In an ideal world, your car would be equipped with technological solutions that are tailored to your lifestyle and needs, including an interactive, networked roadside assistance service and seamless connectivity. Most of all features we already offer in our cars today. With voice control, you can ask your car's navigation system to display a list of points of interest. You can navigate using Google Maps and Google Street View, so even before you begin your trip, you can pull up a detailed overview of your route and your destination. And you can check the weather and the news and use real-time traffic reports to avoid traffic jams. These functions are already quite fast, but in the future, they will be even better. We just presented our latest innovation in mobile connectivity at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Audi is the very first car maker to integrate the successor of UMTS technology, the LTE, into our cars to make internet access faster than ever before. LTE's incredibly fast bit rate, 20 times faster than UMTS, means it's possible to download a play high-definition video while the car is moving, for your passenger, of course. Obviously, the driver won't be watching videos, but this does raise a key question. Will drivers be more distracted in the future? Question mark. Our answer, user-friendliness and driving safety have the utmost priority. And in fact, we will make it easier than ever before for drivers to concentrate by putting the potential distractions, such as the navigation system, telephoning, and emailing, within easy reach, so that we'll minimize distractions and ensure that drivers stay focused on the road. The Audi MMI, our multimedia interface control, recognizing both voice commands and your handwriting. In the future, you will be able to operate it using gestures too, another new Audi technology that debuts at year's CES. The MMI console will display information in a deliberately compact format, configured to each specific driving situation. For example, only the subject line of an incoming email will be displayed, but the MMI will read the rest of the email out loud. And in a way that will distract the driver as little as possible in a condensed shorthand version. Another feature that will improve driver safety in the digital car will be the augmented reality head-up display. Navigation, traffic signs, and even alarms to alert you to when you are tailgating will all be projected on the windshield. Up until now, there has only been one head-up display directly in front of the driver. But in the near future, the system will be expanded maybe to 3 separate windshield displays. One for the driver, one for the front seat passenger, and one right in the middle of the windshield that can be used to display information to backseat passengers, including tourism information about your destination or some news. What a simple wave of the hand at the start of a trip. The driver can drag the destination screen from the middle of the windshield over to the driver's side, which also automatically activates the navigation system. The second big issue facing us with regard to automobile IT systems is this: how do we synchronize the rapid development cycles that characterize the entertainment electronics industry with the relatively slower product life cycles that defines the auto industry? From the very start, the product development life cycles of these two industries are today a complete mismatch. From the very start, from a car designer's very first rough sketches through the launch of a serious product for a new model, it takes us around 60 months to develop a new car. In that same period of time, 5 years, Apple has already brought out 5 different generations of iPhones. In the future, the digital car is going to have to be able to keep pace with the breakneck speed of developments in the entertainment electronics industries. We are now integrating new hardware into our cars that allows us to update the car's software at any time in the future, which keeps us and our products on the cutting edge of technology. Audi is currently rolling out the first generation of Connect portfolio technologies in all of our models. Today, the big focus for us is integrating smartphone apps into cars. For example, I have an app to lock and unlock my car. It comes in my handy when I forgot my keys or when I'm not around, but have a good reason to unlock my car for someone. The next big step comes under the heading Car2X. This refers to your car's connectivity with the outside world, which will above all enhance the functionality of driver's assistance systems. Today's intelligent cars can already take drivers straight to their destination, relaxed and hopefully accident-free. In stop-and-go traffic, the car automatically maintains a safe distance from other vehicles. The car warns the drivers if they drift out of their lane or if cyclists or pedestrians suddenly appears in the path of the vehicle. Especially at night or in confusing situations, the intelligent car technology is much better at responding to changing road and driving conditions. And when the car's warning go unheeded, the system automatically raises the brake pressure as a precaution to compensate for the driver's reaction time. In the future, the car will activate the brakes in these situations too. And if parallel parking makes you brake out into a cold sweat, your car can also do the job for you. It can get you in and out of a tight space without any dings. In the future, the driver won't even need to be sitting in the car when it parks itself, like a digital valet parking system. Helping drivers deal with high-stress driving situations is one thing. Even more exciting will be the development of IT systems for cars that help you totally avoid these situations in the first place. And our next step in this development process will be swarm intelligence. Similar to how a flock of birds moves in natural synchronization, your car will also just swim along with the flow of traffic. It will recognize obstacles and dangers early enough for the vehicle to swerve. This brings us back to the Car2X principle. When your car has an ability to communicate with other cars, infrastructure like traffic lights and parking lots, it won't just make driving a lot more simple and a lot more safe, it will also optimize the flow of traffic. Traffic jams will be a thing of the past when we are all driving cars with this kind of technology, and all the red lights that have always seemed to be waiting to you to approach an intersection will stay green throughout your entire journey, hopefully. Or to take this one step further, a digital car that can communicate with its environment and other cars means we won't need any traffic lights, hopefully in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, ultimately, all of these intelligent car technologies are paving the way to the vision of piloted driving. This future reality is nearly within our grasps. In the fall of 2010, an Audi TTS drove the 4,300 meters up to the top of the Pikes Peak in the Colorado Rockies, without a human driver, but with 2 computers located in the car's trunk. We understand that a lot of people feel uncomfortable at first with the idea of completely surrendering control of their car. But you will only use autopilot under the right driving conditions and when you really want to do that. So as you can see, even with all of the connectivity, you will never be en route without a safety net and effective backup systems. Ladies and gentlemen, we promise to support you as the driver and not tell you what to do. To use our technological advances to enhance the driving experience and not to take the fun out of it. To increase your car's electronic intelligence, not the size of the driver's operating manual. So please close your eyes for a moment and imagine the following. In the morning, you get into a car that you share maybe with your partner. The seat is already configured to your body shape and seating preferences. The heat or the air conditioning is set to your favorite temperature. The navigation system suggests your workplace as a suggested destination. Your favorite music is being streamed and the song you were just listening to when you walked out your front door seamlessly resumes playing at the same spot where it left off. You press the start engine button, the car rolls out of the driveway and promptly takes you to your destination. You and your car are a perfect fit. But that's not all we need to achieve, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, you can open your eyes once again. Let me put it simply, our mission is not only to network our cars, but also to network ourselves as a company. In October of last year, the world's population reached the 7 billion mark. By the middle of this century, that will increase to 9 billion people living, working, eating, and driving cars on our planet. And 70% of these people will be living in the so-called megacities or metropolitan areas. So I wonder what tomorrow's world will look like in terms of mobility, also in terms of quality of life and environmental concerns. Individual mobility is and will remain a basic human need. However, we will have to rethink our approach to mobility in order to create a balance between the need and the need for a livable environment. To understand the challenges this will entail, we established the Audi Urban Future Initiative as a think tank to study future mobility issues. We have the ability, the means, and the conviction that will allow us to change our world. But to achieve true change, we will have to share our knowledge with each other. We will need to be better networked and have better systems in place for documenting what we learned. Car designers, engineers, and R&D experts have always worked together in the past to design an all-new car. And nowadays, Audi is engaged in the same kind of exchange with experts from such diverse fields as architecture, urban planning, and futurology. As life becomes increasingly complex, your car should be a tool to help you reduce the complexity. In chaotic, crowded cities, your car should simplify your life. And to play this crucial role, however, the automobile will have to be more than just four wheels with an engine and a pleasing interior design. The car of the future will be shaped by the city of the future. And the city talks back, and we'd definitely better be listening. Together with sociologist Saskia Sassen, Audi has launched a 2-year research project at Columbia University to explore how both the automobile and the city are changing and how they interact with one another throughout this change process. Mobility and design are also a major focus for Mark Wigley, the Dean of Columbia University Graduate School of Architecture, Planning and Preservation. Wigley is working with a team of graduate students to develop and test different design and mobility models. So, ladies and gentlemen, technology is changing the world in many ways for the better. Like the Industrial Revolution 200 years ago, the digital and internet revolutions have now assumed historic proportions. We all have the ability to shape the world in which we and future generations will be living. And that's why we must make the constant advancement of our innovation and technological cultures in both our society and also in our companies our highest priority. And to do so, however, we must strive relentlessly for advancements in innovation and in technology. Fostering both innovation and a culture of open exchange must be paramount for us in the future. Because it's only through the collision of apparent opposites and the sparks that then fly that generates really the true innovations and changes we need for a better living. Thank you very much.